Hey everyone, Todd here from Beyond the Office. Yes, the channel has a name now. And I want to talk to you for a little bit here about artificial intelligence. There's lots of sites out there trying to sell you something, trying to explain it. But in all honesty, the space is moving so fast. There's literally no way at this point that you can keep up with all the changes. There's a few podcasts that I'm listening to that I feel are worthy of a listen. Matter of fact, they're so good that it's a weekly listen to me. Maybe sometimes when I'm in the car, you will hear certain podcasts playing, and there's some good ones out there, and I'll have links to those podcasts in the show notes. But how's AI going to affect you? AI is going to affect you significantly if you work in the knowledge space, if you're a knowledge worker. If you're a general contractor, building houses, a plumber, working on HVAC, this is not going to affect you as much, but it will probably affect the administrative pieces of those businesses in a big way. But let me just start with some very basics, and I think there's some things I've learned over the past 6 months that I've been really experimenting and doing thought processes on things I'm going to do with my company for artificial intelligence, which we are very, very actively working on. Number one, you need to be using these tools, whether it be ChatGPT, Anthropic's Claude, whether it be Jasper, any of the variety of mainstream tools that are out there. Number one, you need to be using those on an almost daily basis to see if the things that you do at work can be helped by the processes that you do. And you may need to go to your company and say, hey, I'm experimenting with AI. Are you good with that? If you're part of a bigger company, maybe you've already got a console, an AI console, because this is going to affect businesses in a big way. And maybe some folks will not be as open to working with AI as others. But I think it's going to be critical that the landscape for knowledge workers is going to change so much in the next 3 years that if you're not doing this, you may find yourself without a job. I'm quite frank on that. I attended an event earlier this year where I took away 3 real main takeaways in when it comes to what's going to change in the landscape. If you are super creative, you're working with these tools, you learn how to write and ask questions of these tools in a very proactive way, your job probably is going to be safe. If you're a subject matter expert where you know your industry and you are the man or woman that they come to ask questions about, your job's probably okay. But what's going to change is in the middle is the thunking, the work that's done every day, email replies, invoice writing, proposals, anything you can think of where you're creating content, whether it be research, whether it be blogs, whether it be marketing messages, social media, anything where you're doing writing is going to fundamentally change, and already has for my company. So that thunking work, and I stole that from Google, the stuff that's in the middle there, not the subject matter experts, not the people that are doing the creative thinking and creative process. Those are always going to be super valuable people. But that thunking work, those jobs are in trouble. And maybe because of AI, we all just become more productive and we become more competitive. But I think just sticking your head in the sand is a really, really bad idea at this point. We're using the dumbest language model, AI, whatever you want to call it, that we'll ever use right now. In 3 weeks or 4 weeks, this video is going to be obsolete on anything I say because it's changing so fast. But the fundamentals are that you need to make sure that you are paying attention, that you're paying attention to what's going on here. And if you're a small business, if you're not, you're going to get ate alive. If you're a big business and you're not looking at AI and how it can be integrated into your product, you're going to be out of business. It's going to change everything. Some people say, oh, Todd, it's not going to change everything. Yes, it's going to change everything. I am more assured of that of anything I've ever been assured of in my whole life, just based on the processes that we're doing at my company and things that we're using AI for. We're really getting more productivity out of the entire team. Now, my dev team, they're obviously more cautious because we have a lot of legacy code. Bringing AI into that is not something that's really effective at this point, but that's going to change too. So every piece of my company, I'm looking at where we can employ stuff today that will drive efficiencies. We're a small team, so we have to drive efficiencies. I heard of one company that is basically doing the work of about 30 with 5 people because they've employed AI through the get-go, and they're using it completely for everything. One of the case points that I use is that I run the podcast awards, and every year we have people that come in and vote for awardees. I normally pay a company to do fraud analysis of those voting results. This year's I took a subset of the data, run it through the process of the questions I normally ask the company that does this analysis for me to do. And what happened was I saved myself $5,000 because ChatGPT, data analysis tool, was able to look at the data and answer the specific questions I want. And again, you have to use these tools to see what kind of output you can get out. Sometimes it's kind of screwy. That's why you need to be the subject matter expert to look at the output and say, that's wrong, that's biased, we need to change this, and have multiple eyeballs look and review any of that output before you put it out as marketing material, put it out as documentation. You need to make sure it's right. So going back to my 3 pieces here, those that are creative and know how to write the queries to the language models and know how to use the tools, and they're staying abreast and staying current, their job's probably safe. The subject matter experts, those that are the linchpins of companies, the ones that says, nope, this is right or wrong, and looking at outputs is going to be valuable. And again, there's going to be people that are going to need to validate this output. But again, the amount of content that you're going to be able to, and the amount of work that you're going to be able to do is just going to grow exponentially, to be quite frank. We're using a tool by a company that we paid significant amount of money for an annual subscription that is doing work that we knew we needed to do, but really did not have the time cycles to be able to do it, and not put it in a process, to have a process in place to do it effectively. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with the output of the product from that service. It's a service that I'm not going to share with anyone, to be honest with you, because I feel it's a competitive advantage for me right now to use it, and I'm not going to share it so my competitors watching this video are not going to know who we're using. There's lots of tools out there. There's lots of sources where you can go and look and do this research on your own. The basic stuff like ChatGPT, we're all using that. The new DALL-E 3 integration is just amazing. But what comes next? And I think that's what we need to keep an eye on. If you're a business owner and if you're scoffing that this is not going to affect you, bye-bye. Your business is not going to be the same in a couple of years. Don't want to make a panic attack. It's still early on, but you need to get educated. And you need to start listening, and you need to start using these tools today. Your employees probably already are. If you're my age or older, you might be resistant to these changes. Well, sorry. Life is moving very, very quickly right now. For me, it's been a game changer. And we'll go into this more over time. But I think it just give you a taste of what's going on and what's going to happen from a marketing standpoint, PR, not to mention the change in search. If we look at what's going to happen with search is fundamentally going to change. If you are now relying on a bunch of inbound traffic to your website due to search, you can see it already. You can see how search is changing. How we're going to combat that from a marketing standpoint to make sure we have inbound traffic coming to our websites, that's yet to be determined. I have some theories. I have a hypothesis of what needs to be done, and I'll probably share more on that later, but I think only time will tell. Again, some of this information I consider to be kind of guarded because I'm doing the research on my own and finding this out. And I'm figuring out what will work, what is working, what isn't working, and then taking some bets and hope that the bets were correct. So I hope you enjoyed this little AI segment from Beyond the Office. My name is Todd Cochran. And leave a comment, subscribe, follow. We're going to be putting more of this type of stuff out. And if you found it useful, let me know as well. And sorry for the first video. The first video had a bunch of tapping in it from a microphone that was loose. Got that under control. But I look forward to bringing you another edition of this. Going to be going on the road soon. We'll take you along with me when I travel. May not tell you all the information about where I'm traveling to, but that'll keep the mystery. Let you guess on your own. Take care, and we'll see you next time here at Beyond the Office.